Hello. The yellow metal gold has been on a bullish momentum since the beginning of the year, and if we look at what is happening on the daily time frame, the bullish trend line I identified here can be seen to have supported price action in a bullish direction since the beginning of the year. And one thing we'll observe lately, I think in the early days of this month of July, we finally saw the breakdown of that bullish trend line at around the $1,800 mark. Now we saw the outright breakdown that pushed price over into the $1,680 mark, which is about how many pips that is? Hold on a second. Let's confirm that. That's like about a 10,000 pips move, which is quite significant for in the last 3 weeks. And one thing we all understand from a technical perspective is that whenever we witness such breakdown or breakout of a structure, we expect price to come back to do a retest of that structure before we start seeing momentum building in the direction of the prior leading price action. And this, in this case, the prior leading price action here is bearish. So going into the new week, what is our expectation going to be like? Are we going to see price come out to do a retest of that bullish trend line identified here on the daily time frame? Or is there a possibility that price could go a little up a little bit and then we see rejections that will push price to the downside from here? That is something we want to look out for in this video, and let's see how we could take advantage of any trading opportunity lining up for us. So scaling down to a much lower time frame, say the 4 hours time frame, what do we have here? I was able to identify this bearish line which held price supported since on the 23rd of May, and before that it has old price resisted and supported at one point in time, thereby making this trend line a very significant one, as it has been a major determinant of price action along the downtrend situation we find ourselves here on the gold. If we look at the structure I'm saying here, we have one here, we have a rejection here, then price broke out of the structure, break back into the structure to continue to respect that trend line. Then we saw another breakout of that structure, and then price continued to respect that bearish trend line one more time before we saw the breakdown of that structure during the early days of this week. So going into the new week, this is going to be my first yardstick. Is going to be my first parameter that I want to be using to guide my actions going forward. Now let's zoom close back into what the structure we have here. So we have the trend line extended further into the future. So what do we have here? Now the second one is this red, green, black dotted line, which also has been the resistant trend line has been respected multiple times right into the later part of June before we saw an huge expansion away from that area. So one thing I want to be looking out for going into the new week is this. The first thing I want to be doing, we've identified two parameters, and I also have a parameter as a key level at $1,720 area. And if you look at this area, it looks more like a neckline of a reversal pattern that we saw here. We saw our price moved into this place, then we saw the second rejection, and it appears we are seeing a breakout of the neckline, which will confirm that it is actually a reversal pattern. So we want to see a significant breakout of that neckline, then price comes back to do a retest of structure. Then we look out for patterns that will support a trend continuation to the upside. Now, if we are going to be looking forward to a trend continuation to the upside, where will our take profit target be? Well, the first area I will be suggesting that we place our take profit target should definitely be the resistant level of this trend line. And one thing I want to see is price coming right into this area. And if possible, if price is going to do a retest of this area, then we will see price do a downtrend from there. But if we see price break out of that resistant line, then we want to see price do a rejection of structure to push price back into the bullish trend line we identified on the daily time frame. So this is the scenario I'm looking out for the gold. And what's our take profit target going to be if price actually move in that direction? Our first take profit target falls around 4,500 pips area at least, and then the second area we could be looking out for is the bullish trend line on we identified on the daily time frame, which could actually dovetail into an enormous $10,000 if price action move as expected. So that is the scenario I'm looking out for. Then the other scenario I'm looking out for here is after considering the long-term bearish momentum we have here. For long-term traders, you might want to be thinking, oh, I want to wait for bearish opportunity to come before I actually take any position here on the XAUUSD. Well, we also have there's this trend line here could actually be this breakout of this trend line could actually be a false one. We never can tell, as we could see price come back down, then a retest of this key level at 1720 area, which also shares a confluence with the bearish trend line, could actually send price crashing to the downside from here. So this is another perspective I want to be looking at for, and let's see how price action plays out. And I will be sharing an update during the early hours of the new week after we study how price action has been evolving during the early hours of the week. If this video has been of immense help in in making your own individual decision on the gold this week, kindly support by clicking the like button, and I'll be glad you did. You might also want to follow me on my TradingView platform so that you don't miss out on the regular updates I normally share in the comment section. Thank you for watching and liking this video, and I hope to see you Monday morning as usual. Goodbye.